got our mic checks. We should probably do
them
the mic checks every now and then, huh?
every now and then.
Alright.
Probably not as long as 15 minutes, but if we do it as long as 15 minutes, then that's like the absolute limit, I think.
Yeah. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Spinoff Adventures in Varkaril. Um, what happened last time? Go ahead and uh, you know, uh, explain what happened, and I will load the game in a bit.
Well, uh, we rescued Fenris and Klein from the attack from our local baddie Fenrir, who came out of nowhere with his horde of lycanthropes.
Mhm.
Or werewolves. Are they technically lycanthropes or werewolves? Or is it pretty much the same thing?
They're both the same. They're interchangeable. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, fought a bunch of werewolves and Mr. Fenrir here, who had a nice epic fight with his daughter, with assistance from our resident Picraw. Him and his good little bow doing all the damage. And Picraw, in his very nice sharpshooter-esque fashion, managed to get the final shot. I have my suspicions of whether or not Fenrir is actually, gone or not, but that's just me. But we did notice a black spooge just show
Spooge.
up.
Inkling. Spooge.
It's a very disgusting inkling spooge that
Spooge.
we sucked up with with their little with our purple gem of evil cleansing. Not
Mhm.
official name, but that's what I'm calling it.
Mhm.
And in the midst of the fight, both Tamara and Figgy got infected with lycanthropy, or so we think.
Okay.
And in an attempt to use the crystal to kind of get rid of the lycanthropy like before, the crystal's not responding at the moment.
Hmm.
We don't know exactly why. So to kind of make sure that the situation doesn't get any worse than it is, we're looking for the nearest possible way to get rid of said lycanthropy because there's no cleric in the city of Yoru. I don't know why there's no cleric in the city of Yoru. It may be due to the fact there's a bunch of tieflings here, and I guess they don't really jive well with clerics.
Mhm.
But hey, that's just an assumption. So, Tamara's great aunt Baba might be able to help, or so we think. We don't know yet. We gotta get to the store. But before we did that, we had a nice little eulogy for Fenrir,
Mhm.
out of respect for Fenris.
Right. Right. So.
And now that has been done and over with, I'm actually gonna turn my stuff up. Yeah. So now that that's all done and over with, we are
Mhm.
gonna proceed back into town, get ourselves cleaned up,
Mhm.
and then we move on to the next chapter in this little adventure. I think I
All.
covered everything.
All the adventure. All right. Going to the actual map, and
We're
I have.
going on a trip in a paper rocket ship.
Oh no.
The
Um.
MIP.
The MIP. All right.
Fly through your room to the spin-off.
All right. So you go back to the. Let me turn this down real quick. We. All right. Cool. So you guys head back towards the place to the first go back to town or give the eulogy first.
Oh, we gave the eulogy.
All right. All right. So what do you guys want to do for it?
We're gonna head back to Baba's house.
All right. So you head back. Um, Fenris is being silent at the time, and slowly but surely, as you go along, um, uh, give me a perception really quick while you're walking down the
Perception. All
Mhm.
right, me and Jackson are both gonna do our perceptions.
Yeah, 9.
Nine.
9.
Nine. Alrighty.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Why? Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so peep this right. 9, 10, 11, 12. What are the odds?
It's
No, that's
it's
hilarious.
the Twilight Zone, guys. The Twilight Zone. Um. So yeah. As you walk. Oh, so who's 11 and 12, right? 11, 12, and all right. So
Uh, Jackson got 12. I got 10.
okay. You don't see this since you're probably distracted by how the eulogy is going to be. Um, and the road in front of you. But what Jackson sees, you notice that the most of the town is doesn't have that much people. Like there's few people in the town.
Um. Well,
Hmm.
I can have Jackson tell me though, right?
Yeah, like in bird.
Yeah. All right. Jackson's just gonna go ahead and speak in the language of us birds.
Mhm.
Aha!
Tweet, 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 tweet.
He's an eagle. Damn it!
The cow. Right, basically.
Ah. Huh? What? Oh. Uh.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Just points.
Uh. Huh. All right. Hey, yo, Figgy, did you notice that there's not as many people here?
Uh, no. I don't really pay much attention to the populace of people around me if I'm focused on going from one place to another. But now that you mention it, this street does seem a little bit more barren than it normally would be.
Mhm.
Can
In
I
fact,
make
I
an
don't think.
insight check on the people that are currently here? See what the general idea is in a populace. What is it? Like group feeling? Like, is there fear? Are they just
Um.
slumped or something like that?
Yeah. Give me insight really quick. Yeah. If you guys, if you want to know, also give me insight or investigation, either or. Um.
I got a 25 in insight, baby.
Wow.
I'm gonna do investigation since I have a better bonus.
Yeah. 18.
18.
All right. Cool. Um. Okay. So both of you notice that there is how the people are. Their mood is more like less lively than they were ago. Like about when you last were in here or wasn't here. There's tieflings they kind of like slumped over, and some of them are basically going home in a rushed manner. And
Um,
even though the decorations of the festivities kind of like are still up at this point,
is this normal?
Timron's like, uh, not really. This is weird. Um, maybe.
Maybe we should, maybe Baba knows something once we actually go to see her?
Yeah, she tends to know a lot about certain things. Yeah, we could probably ask her. And
Memory serves we're not too far from it, so we should be there momentarily.
mhm. And you guys keep going. You keep going towards you know, Baba Yaga's house or or shop, and it takes about 5 minutes to get there. And so you're like walking probably fast, and you eventually walking down the streets, you see the same thing of earlier. But then you arrive at Baba Yaga's house or hut or I mean shop.
Klaus.
Shaus, yes, Shaus.
Hmm.
um, and wait, why is it? Why is it not playing? Why is not? Why is no music playing? All right, hold on. I gotta fix this. Uh, womp.
The
And
atmosphere is
Wah,
so dank that the
wah.
music got distorted.
yeah,
There we go.
there we go. Loop single. There we go. I gotta type that out. Okay, cool. So, you arrive and the music just starts to play, and you, you see Yaga kind of like basically playing the banjo, and the song just starts to play.
Yeah, I didn't know how to. I didn't know you knew how to play that.
And yeah, you open the door, you and the chime of the door goes ding 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 again, and she notices you, she recognizes you, like, oh, hello there. Uh, kind of like goes and slowly puts down the banjo with like this very careful notion.
Hmm.
Slowly stands up. Um, old lady bones cracking a bit as she goes over to you guys to the counter. Hello, dearies. How can I help you? Tamara, baby. Tamara's like, hi. Yeah. And we. How are you? I'm doing okay. And then Yaga kind of like goes, uh, glances at both Figgy and Tamara, and like her face kind of like changed a bit from like this like lively woman to a little bit of worry. Raises an eyebrow a little bit. Oh,
You seem concerned about something.
there's seems to be something off about you two. Um,
How off are we talking exactly?
well, well, we're like hmm, there's something ailing you.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Okay, do you mind making us some tea? We have a bit of a story to tell. And some of our commoners could probably use it as well. He looks at Fenris.
Fenris kind of like scratches the her arm a bit, and basically her ears kind of like wolf ears kind of like slump down a little bit. You can tell, and she's seems to be very pensive about something, and Fenris is like, if you have coffee, it'll be great. And Yaga's like, make you a strong tea if that's right with you. Fenris is like, uh, sure. And Yaga's like, okay. Um, kind of like goes back to the little little like light smile, and she goes, uh, all of you, take a seat, and then notices Clayne again. Oh, right, I'll get that tea, and I'll be right back. And then Toro's like, I'll help you out, and Yoga's like, no, no, you just sit down. It looks like you've been through the hell. Not pun intended. And Tamara's like, are you sure? Uh, and then just sighs. Okay. And you guys go over to sit while Yoga kind of like goes and like leaves, goes to the kitchen.
Okay, well, now that we managed to take a seat and sit down, would you two like to, give us a little update about what you guys been up to this entire time? We haven't seen you in a few days.
Clayne kind of like says, "Oh, trying to search for information, you know, regarding the whole now Fenris, I mean Fenrir bit, and we got a lead, and of course, this blonde lady kind of like from the brothel told us about where he will be."
Let me guess. Blonde woman with blue eyes?
Yeah, that's the one.
Quite the charm of that one.
Well, throughout this Clayne's been talking this whole time. He's like, um, apparently Fenris didn't really, uh, you know, resist her charm. You know, Fenris is like not in the mood.
Job's a job, but that's beside the point. Still, she told you what she knew about this Fenris character?
Mhm. Yeah. Something about some like a younger him.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. Which leads me to believe a couple of things, which I believe you must have came to the same conclusion as I did, that this Fenrir that we came across was an alternate version of himself from either a different dimension or a different timeline altogether, or a combination of both. Not entirely sure.
Oh, well, my conclusion was maybe he was a doppelganger.
A doppelganger.
I mean, that's now, well,
We
it's
all know
possible.
changelings exist, right?
And
Uh,
they
yes.
they do exist in mainly the small country of Atesh. I've met a few of them. They disturb the heck out of me. And I was like,
They're quite crafty in a way of disguise. But why mention both doppelganger and changing?
well, and Venice is like, well, in our research, we found some information about changes in doppelgangers, how they could alter themselves to be someone that or completely another persona completely. So that's what Claim thought, that maybe this dude was a double ganger, but of course while fighting him, he was legit my dad.
And you are certain of this?
Yeah, I know, like, that's actually him. I could teleport, rather, you know, is my dad or not.
Let's get Maury Spriggan on the show tonight.
Looks at Peg, raises her eyebrows, and Klein just adds, well, you managed to defeat this, bastard. No offense to your father. And Fenner's kind of like shrugs, not looking at you guys.
It does beg the question, though.
Hmm.
If he was willing to go out this way to attack you, what was his purpose for doing so? And what was he doing trying to search for Silent Peak? Well, I already have kind of an idea what he was looking for, but the question is, why was he looking for it?
I was about to ask him this, and then Klein here started to attack. And and then Klein's like, I almost died, but what? You know, the, the guy was about to basically blast you without no question. I, you know, I really like stand there to actually watch you like be blasted. And Fenris is like, I had it under control. And he kind of like lately kick him in the side a little bit. Hmm.
Well, in any case, the problems has been dealt with for right now, and well, we can close it. We can close the book on that little chapter that we have to deal with. Hopefully, he doesn't come back, and if he does come back, hopefully he's in a better mindset.
Fenris just says, I don't think he would come back. I know for sure that was him.
So then, that black ooze that came out of him.
That I have no clue what it is, but now that raises more questions. What happened to him to make him this way? He wasn't like this.
Hard to.
He wasn't like this before.
And this was after you were already born, right?
Yeah.
So, pray tell, you said that you came from a different plane of existence or something like that, correct?
Mhm.
Was it to search for
Wait,
him?
what?
Oh yeah, that's right. You missed that part.
Wait, where I'm from, Fenrir says, it's a bit complicated, you know. Um, well, the role itself, well, everybody, and where I'm from calls it remnant.
Never heard of it.
Mm. Completely different, I guess you can say, planet, world, not dimension.
I mean, the air poker originate from the air plane of existence. Being from a different plane of existence isn't weird. Like, I've just never heard of yours.
Hmm. are kind of like basically her eyes kind of like oogle from their sockets a bit. What? And it's like, ah, right, um, right. I probably should just I set it up. She just like she just goes and basically like sits down in a different area, lays down for a bit. Clay just shakes his head. So, alien?
But
I don't know. This is all up on my head.
I think it's easier just to assume that there's some other plane of existence. It's easier to comprehend, you know?
Hmm.
After all, wouldn't you say that this in itself is a plane of existence on its own? And there are multiple others?
Yeah, it's called the material plane.
So I was like, oh yeah. And then Clay's like, huh? That 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 you know you know like dimensioning shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Um, and then you actually give me an insight.
All of us are just certain people.
Anyone that wants to notice something for Clay.
Oh,
15.
Oh, you know, notice what Pit Crawl kind of like does, and what he notices is that um Klein is basically his intelligence is like a 7 for his stats. Like a negative like 2 or he can't process this whole like hopping through dimensions and everything.
I have a whole +3 to my intelligence, so I sort of get it.
Yeah,
Especially considering I've had history sections in bird school
yeah,
about being from the being from the plane of air.
yeah. And yeah, so Clayton's like, well, this is still over my head. Look, I'm like built for muscles, and just basically like starts to flex
Ah, yes, muscles.
muscles.
I'll be honest, that is not exactly what was advertised to me when I first met you.
Well, I might
You seem
not
like
be the smartest dwarf out there, but I am one of the strongest dwarves out there physically.
I don't know. You seem kind of smart when I first met you.
That's what I made you to believe. Honestly, I don't know much. Just what I can get by. And Tora's like, he's always been like that some at times. He's the brawn and I'm mostly the brain with between the two.
Ah, I
Yeah.
see. What would
Well,
you
we
say that
created.
you hold a lot of wisdom?
Um, wisdom bashing heads with and then takes out his axe. My axe.
I don't really know where my place is. I'm just sort of a free faller. I left my entire tribe to search for my friend, and I'm not even sure we could ever go back.
What makes you think you can't go back?
Leaving the Aarakocra tribe is kind of really shunned upon and looked down on. Uh, we're a very seclusive race, and we tend to just keep to ourselves in a giant flocks. And leaving, you just kind of have to have a really good reason to leave. And I don't think we can go back. It's kind of not a thing.
Well, I mean, if it's to get another member back to your tribe, is that not a reason within itself?
Uh, well, the reason wasn't to get them back to the tribe. The reason is simply to find them.
Um,
Did you, did you have intention to return back to your tribe?
I didn't think that far ahead when I left. I sort of just knew I had to go find them.
um, explains like, well, I've heard some like like a pocket of free Aarakocra that are taking in anyone that's you know tribeless.
Hmm.
I think they worship the elemental air goddess.
All right. Uh, there are a lot of different goddesses specifically surrounding air. I'm personally a follower of Sirenita. She's the Aarakocra one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, yeah, well, let's see, there's the main goddesses, and then there's the little like minor ones that are still respected. Um, um hmm. And at that at that Yaga comes back with a tray of cheese and a pot, and her hands are a little bit wobbly, like old people. And
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Tamara kind of like sees this and goes and helps her with the tray and everything. She's like, oh, here, let me help. And Yaga's like, oh, thank you, thank you, dearie, no problem. And so Tamara helps out with the tray and like goes and like puts it on the table in like in the room where you guys were last time.
Mm-hmm.
And she sits down and also helps out Yaga like basically walk over um and sit down as well. So dearie, what do you say you wanted to talk to me about something? And Tamara like takes like a cup of tea and just sips. And then Tamara puts down her tea. Well, where to begin? Um, Hello?
Okay, I'll call that as it. Me and Tamara got bit by a werewolf.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
like,
I watched it all
what?
happen.
What was that, dear? Puts on her hearing aids.
Me and Tamara got bit by some werewolves. We suspect that we may be infected with lycanthropy.
Yaga was like holding like a little tiny plate with the teacup. She was drinking from it. She drops the tea, the cup of tea, and Tamara kind of like quickly catches it. Um, and basically puts it on the table. Yaga's like eyes widen and looks at both Tamara and thinking, uh, lycanthropy?
Yes, you know the curse that turns people into werewolves.
I'm aware what it is, but oh no. Um,
Now, we did have a thing before that kind of gotten rid of the lycanthropy of other people. And he takes out the purple gem, and it was with this gem right here. So far, we've used it to dispel any form of malignation and other evil spirits within the body. But for some reason, maybe it's some sort of a charge time or something, but it stopped working for us.
hmm. She puts on her glasses, takes a look at it, slowly like reaches out for it. She's like, "May I?"
Of course. Figgy hands over the gem.
She slowly like takes the gem, examines it like squinting and stuff, like an old lady would, and eventually, like about after like 2 minutes, she gives it to you. She's like, that looks like a gift from one of the great goddesses. Maybe
Yes, we found it in a mansion back in the other country that we came from.
hmm,
It was in the mayor's mansion at the time.
perhaps it needs time to recharge. I'm not sure, but you could always try that. I
Okay, well, in the event that the charge time is a lot longer than we have anticipated, you wouldn't happen to have any methods that kind of, you know, cures this little problem before it gets worse? Considering the fact that you kind of freaked out when you first saw each other, um, it might be better to take care of it now than later.
she nods, and you can tell this whole time that Tamara is like tense, looking at Yaga. Yaga like nods. I I think I know a way how to remove the lycanthropy. Um, it's gonna take a spell.
I am sensing a bot.
Mm, yes, you are certainly intuitive. She says. Normally Yaga is like you could what Figgy can like been Figgy and everybody can tell is that a nice little lady, but like at this she is uncharacteristic unchar unchar char
Uncharacteristically,
yeah sorry words serious and calculating when it comes to this, and she's like yes, there's a but. Um, Maybe leave this crystal here with me. I can try to see if I could fix it.
does this spell involve the crystal?
Yes.
How long and what do you need along with the crystal?
For us to prepare, take me a few hours to prepare. Um, about 4 to 5 hours to prepare this spell. Along with the gem.
Is there anything that we can do to help to probably speed up the process?
Um, Help me shop for the ingredients for the spell, and we'll make it a deal.
Where we need to find those ingredients?
Well, there's a garden here that grows uh different exotic plants and herbs. And then she kind of like I can give you a list of what we're gonna need. Okay.
Sounds good. Also, Petrol, could you mention about what happened earlier when we got into town?
Oh, yeah, we got into town and like everyone was so droopy and down. And there were a lot less people here, and it just feels odd for, a festival. You know anything about that?
Hmm. Yes, lately there has been. I've been sensing a strange aura around these parts. Um, but it's like they are cloaking my senses a bit.
All right. Uh, you don't mind if I just walk around your shop for a bit, do you?
No, not at all. I don't mind.
Can I go look for the fairy that's in a jar?
Um, yeah. Give me an investigation, actually. What is Figgy doing?
Hmm.
He's listening.
And my, your bird friend is energetic.
Well, he needs to be. It's kind of one of the few things that kind of brings life to the party.
Hmm.
Him and Jackson's actually a pretty cool individual too. Isn't that right, Jackson?
Caw! Flaps wings.
You let him know, Jackson.
Ah! Alright.
I got a 19, by the way.
Okay. And you look around, Pick Craw. You look around, and the fairy is like behind the counter, in the bottle, and the fairy is like this green fairy, tinted fairy with a glow. Um, she has this blonde hair, and her eyes are kind of like these like emerald green, and she's kind of like wearing like little like pixie dress.
Don't tell me it's Tinkerbell.
No, not really.
Uh,
That's not a reference to anything. Alright. So, there's
alright.
a fairy, and the fairy seems to be sleeping at the moment.
Hmm. Could I lightly pick up the jar?
Um, yeah, you lightly pick up the jar. So you pick up the jar.
Hmm. This is the cage. I want to break it, but they said it's dangerous. I have a plan.
Hmm.
Can I walk up to Baba Yaga with the jar in hand?
Yeah, you can walk up to it.
Hey, Baba Yaga, is it cool if I go ahead and try to like release this fairy super far off, like from the city and somewhere where it won't do dangerous things?
Yoga kind of like uh shoots like a look at Pig and says, "Uh, no, you may not. Uh, you have any idea this fairy is quite dangerous?"
I don't know. I mean, like, just keeping a dangerous fairy on your shelf imprisoned doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, an earthquake hits, this thing gets broken free. That sounds like it's a revenge plot to me. I feel like we should probably get it out and dispose of it in a very safe manner.
So I'm pretty sure that bottle is almost indestructible, including when it falls or an earthquake. She says, but shrugs. If you like, you can. I'm not stopping you.
Woo!
Just know that it could, consequences later on.
Yeah, no problem. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in a nice dark area for them to sleep in quietly.
All right,
More than likely, my backpack.
so you open it, or you just leave it in the jar.
I'm leaving it in the jar for now, but I'm gonna go to a wooded or forested area,
Mhm.
hopefully eventually to release it.
All right. Cool. All right, so you do that, and as you do that, anything else that you would like to do?
Let's see. Given the circumstances, no, he's just gonna receive the list, and whenever the time is right, he'll be ready to shop.
Alrighty. So, and then she slowly like takes out like a little rolled up paper, gives it to Figgy, and
Is this the list?
yeah, it's the list. Looks at tomorrow. You, need to stay here for a bit. I would like to check up on you. Tomorrow kind of like scratches her head a little bit. Um, maybe I should go with him.
No, you should probably heed the words of your aunt. She's worried about you. She wants to make sure that you're okay.
Give me persuasion, child. Sorry. Yeah, give me a charisma.
There are children outside, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
That is a
children.
10 in persuasion.
Um, she squints a bit. Are you sure?
Well, I'm indifferent about it either way, but that still doesn't change the fact that it has to get done. But consider the fact that that is family and she wants to look after you, it might be best to stay with the person that is safe, you know? With me, it might not be safe. Who knows what will happen? And, in case it does try to turn haywire, we happen to have a resident wolf expert right there sitting sleeping on the couch. Pretty sure if she hears something go off, she'll go ahead and spring into action and try to take care of it.
And you look at Fenris. Basically, Fenris is basically sprawled out into the couch, like blazer off, just like basically has the shirt, jeans, and barefoot, and like the boots and the sock kind of like off to the side. Hair a mess, sleeping, snoring.
Despite the penalty, she's actually quite good at it, I think. If anything, Klein, how suitable are you for the workout?
um, just I'm ready. I don't I don't mind a little of a outside walk.
Okay, well, if anything, I'll just have Klein with me, and then we could just book it back here for case things get a little bit too out of hand. And besides, Petrov will be helping out as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry, I'll be more than protected. You two, you two should probably stay here. Make sure nothing bad happens to either one of y'all, and we'll be back as soon as we can.
I can
Which
even
way?
have Jackson stand guard with you guys if you want to keep him.
That too.
Kah!
Jackson's great for surveillance.
Kah! Like at the door. Kah!
Yeah,
Flaps
good
the
boy,
wing.
Jackson.
Flaps his wings, like kind of like puff up his chest, like oh yeah.
I'm a proud ass bird.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the bodyguard. I am the bouncer. Bird bouncer. basically. Um. So yeah. Tamara and Yaga stay and Benner stay in the shop, while Klein, um, Fee and Pig go out. And
Oh, dude's not out. Dude's not out.
what?
Dude's not out.
Oh, dude's not out.
Dude's not out.
What's that?
It means exactly what it sounds like. Dude's not out.
Oh, oh, sorry. um. So the party. Uh, give me an investigation to see where this big garden is.
13.
13,
12.
12. Alright. So, with your sense of direction, you can easily locate an obvious big garden right to the side of the plaza and nearby some residential areas. Um, it is basically it's like a Japanese garden, but with like different um plants and herbs growing and everything.
Is there a big giant tree there?
There's a big giant tree.
How much do you want to bet that the big giant tree is exactly where I need to go?
I mean, I can always fly up there and find out.
Duly noted.
Clayton's like,
Well,
if it comes alive, I will chop it. Says Clayton.
Silly,
uh,
silly dwarf. Trees are alive.
I
I
don't.
I think Klein meant sentient.
Yeah,
You know, if it gets aggressive, then he'll attack it.
it
It's technically sentient. Have you ever met a druid?
Yes.
could be that. It could be a treant, but I don't know. If it's hostile, I will chop it to pieces. No questions asked.
Okay, just make sure that the collateral damage stays to the minimum if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so you guys look around the garden. Um, yeah, do you look at the list first or do you look all over the garden
List.
list? Alright. So there is like 5 things listed. One of them is berries. Let me check.
Uh,
Let me check the notes real quick.
okay. Because I was going to ask, did they specify what type of berries?
They're like what they call it, like those kind of like those the the raspberries.
Are they actually raspberries or are they a different type of raspberry?
Um, they're just like regular raspberries.
Okay.
Nothing particular about it. Though, you notice that like they're glowing slightly. That this is like the get of like a glowy like aura around them.
This is a rather shiny looking berry. Is this
Mm.
much more liquid?
The the name of this berry is it is called the Tulok berry, and the other 5 is water from uh from the tree.
Water from the tree?
Yeah, water from the tree. like sitting like it's basically like a little tiny like river right next to it.
Oh, I guess this is the water from the tree that we're looking for.
Um, yeah. Clayne's like you see Clayne kind of like drinking from this water. This is great stuff.
Would you say that these stuff are things that grow within a forested area?
Yeah.
I happen to be a natural explorer of the forest regions.
Mhm. All
So can I
right.
just go ahead and make try and go find these items?
Yeah. Give me a perception with advantage because of your forced.
Actually, what it does is that it gives me double proficiency
Oh, okay then.
for natural explorer.
All right. Do it.
Yeah.
Natural.
So that would be, let's see, I get added 3 to it after I roll this.
Mhm.
So that's 16.
16. All right. So you easily find these items. The tulok berry. More tulok berries. The
Yeah.
water. Um, and then some like what do you call it? Dung beetles.
Hmm.
Find some of those.
I also get twice as much food while foraging.
Yeah. So twice as much tulok berries. Basically double whatever you can find. Um, a moss. Moss. That's 1, 2, 3. All right. Toothberry. And the last ingredient is like the tree sap.
Hmm.
And um any like the tree sap from the middle tree, which is the great tree. That's what she dubbed it in the list. The great sap from the great tree. And um for the sap, how do you extract it?
I
Um,
straight up just peck into it like a bird until I reach a vein of
Okay.
honey.
All right. Let's see. So yeah, you peck at the tree and the
because you're big even long enough to do that?
No, I'm hitting my head a bit, but like, if I don't go for a deep vein, it's not a big problem. I'm not a natural woodpecker, but this is a method I've learned.
and
Wouldn't it be better to like get some help from someone that say I don't know has an axe?
Clayne's
I
Clayne
mean,
Clayne in the background basically like sneaking up on like a bunny.
I think he's a little busy.
Ah, nonsense. Hey, Klein.
And he kind of like stands up a bed and basically says what, and then like the bunny kind of like hops away. No. Shit. uh, there goes me breakfast. Looks over it. Looks over at the yeah, what's up?
You see this big giant tree over here? We need its sap.
I mean, I've already gotten it.
Uh,
I don't know that your beak is strong enough to actually get all the sap that we need out of it in a slightly
It's
faster fashion.
chop chop.
it's not about strength. It's about skill. I was raised in the forest. Do you doubt my capabilities?
Yes.
Press X to doubt.
All right, guess I'll be doubting all your cat abilities or whatever you do. I don't really know much about you tabaxis, if I'm being honest.
All we need is a mouse folk for this to be funnier.
You know what? I respect the fact that you went out your way to even admit that you have no idea how tabaxis function. That being said, I just know for a fact that your beak is just not long enough to penetrate, or I don't know, a giant tree.
Alright, yeah, but I can also use a arrow because an axe is a bad idea to try to get sap out of a tree.
And
It
Why?
cuts too deep into the vein,
Klein
so
is
you mess up the trees.
you see Klein like about to hack into the tree, and you just hear a booming voice coming from on top of you. You're like, ah, you doing,
Oh,
dwarf?
Well, I was just trying to get. Oh, oh, you're talking to the dwarf specifically. Yeah, I was just trying to get sap the way nature intended. Uh, the Tabaxi completely just looked over my skill sets
Mm.
and asked the dwarf to chop the sap out of you.
the tabaxi has a name.
The the
Yeah,
so the booming voice. You look up and you see a face forming in the tree, and then it forms a mouth and says, "Well, you could have just asked."
Uh, okay, I'll be real. I did not think that you could talk.
well, of course it could talk. I just thought I needed Druidic to talk to you, if I'm being honest. I didn't know that you had an open mouth.
Hmm. I can speak a little bit common.
Oh, that's cool.
I am the great
I too
tree.
speak common.
I am the great tree, and I
Huh,
bring life to this garden.
huh.
Wait, are you the same tree where the water is coming out of as well?
Yes, I am everywhere in this garden.
Okay, well, Mr. Tree Spirit that gives life to all those bountiful in this here forest,
Hmm?
uh, we need your sap. Uh, it's for making a potion and or a seal or a magical thing that's supposed to help us out cure lycanthropy.
Yes, the element of wolf creature, and it starts to like basically like speaking druidic angrily
I,
about it.
I don't actually speak Druidic, unfortunately.
Mm.
I am a ranger, and I know a bunch of druids from my village, uh, but I can't actually speak it, so I have no idea what you just said.
Actually, give me insight with advantage because of that.
Hmm.
Hell yeah. Uh,
22.
22. All right. So, um, as the tree starts to ramble on in Druidic, you just get the feeling that it doesn't like uh werewolves or like Canterbury at all.
Mm.
I think the L word is a bit of a trigger word.
And then finally looks over to Clay. Clay is basically like, "What the fuck?"
See, Clay, and I told you trees were living.
Clay's like, I, "I didn't know trees." Basically like, "What? I grew up in the mountain."
Uh,
Oh yeah, I do have some understanding of mountainous regions too. Uh, that one's just because foraging can be difficult there, and I like the high up areas. But yeah, no, trees are living creatures too. Some of them choose to speak apparently, and they know common. That's the new one for me.
It's because I've lived long in this humanoid city.
Hmm.
I've seen a
Oh,
lot
are
of
you
wonders.
magical?
Uh,
Are you magical by any chance?
hmm. he kind of thinks for a bit, and then finally like responds, um, yes, I'm magical. Some,
Can you feel the magic that's been going around, sort of making people droopy?
hmm. He kind of closes his eyes a little bit. You see kind of like his mustache, like in the wind, like moving a bit, and then he finally says, "Just a tad bit."
Hmm.
Um, seems to be some drainage of, was it maybe something's draining them? I'm not sure. I just don't know where the source is.
I
Hmm.
see.
Can I go ahead and try to see if I can find any undead or vampiric tracks in the magic?
Um, Give me an Arcana.
Alright. Cool. I also do have favored enemy of undead, which
Mhm.
gives me
Nice.
advantage.
Okay. Give me advantage.
Wow, I got a 9. I'm gonna go ahead and use the only inspo that Picraw has
Mhm.
to re-roll that.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah,
You can do it, Pick.
I believe in you. 25.
Oh, all right, good. All right. So you can track um what type of tracks this is. This seems
Mm-hmm.
to be from a very old vampire. Um, but you do. There is some like footsteps that has a blonde. You can find like a blonde streak of hair, at least a few strands of it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
as you look a bit closer, um, you can specifically can tell that this is from a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very. The footsteps seems to be heading towards the direction of the prison.
Hmm. Well, that was something. Alright, I guess we should be collecting that honey if you are willing to spare some with us, great treat. You're pretty great, by the way.
Holy, thank you. He's like every time he talks, the ground kind of like reverberates a little bit beneath you guys.
Ooh.
It's like, yep, of course you could have some of my honey, and basically kind of like,
Thank you.
he a hole kind of like forms in his like chest, and like honey starts to pour, the sap starts to pour a little bit slowly,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
click.
this is really amazing. Thanks.
Well, you're welcome, Bert. What is your name?
Oh, my name is yeah, it's in the bird language. But the people who don't speak like a bird typically just call me Pick.
Ah, I will remember that name. And yours too. And
Good.
looks over at Peggy. Oh, wait, I forgot your what's your name?
My name is Figaro, but you can call me Figgy.
Hmm, Figaro. Hmm, I think I think I've heard that name before.
You must have heard it in passing when people were talking about escapades of my name of wonders as I spread and tell stories to other people across the globe.
Hmm. Do recall some stories.
Oh?
Well, just some passerby just like telling stories, and I think
See,
hmm?
what's that beeping?
What beeping? Beeping?
Uh, I thought I heard beeping.
No.
Mm,
So,
my mistake. So did we get all the stuff?
oh yeah, you got all the stuff, and
Okay.
We have
he tells
twice as much as all the stuff.
he tells you his name. Oh, by the way, my name's Deku the Great Tree.
Ooh. All right, nice meeting you, Deku. Ah,
Nice
yes,
meeting you
we do
too.
have to cure this blight on the soul. So if you don't mind excusing us for the time being and having a great day.
Hey, thank you very much. You too.
Yeah, sorry we almost hit you with that axe.
Uh, don't worry about it. Um, and Clang kind of like puts away his axe like behind his back. Yeah, and like goes with you guys. Um, so you guys leave, and the tree basically becomes a regular tree, no face or anything like that. Kind of like Mama Willow from Pocahontas.
Mm-hmm.
And you just feel a breeze of leaves just right past you guys, just for a second as you leave.
Ah, isn't nature great?
It is.
Alright,
Well, now time to try to cure you and tomorrow.
Good idea, appreciate it. Hopefully everything back at the house seems okay.
alright. You guys head back. It's been about 30 to about 40 minutes talking to this tree, looking for the things. And you start to walk over. You guys know the way already
Mm-hmm.
to you guys house, house,
The
hut. Yes.
The the Baba Shouse.
Yeah, barber shop,
shoust.
barber shops. Yes. You guys walk over. There's, I guess it's about to darken a little bit. It's about 6 p.m. Uh, some people you could tell that you can see that they are leaving through their homes and stuff, and you see some Crimson Moon's enforcers just scarcely in the city and patrolling here and there,
Mm-hmm.
and you head over to you eventually head over to the house, to the you know Yaga's shop. um you walk in, the little ring of the bell, and you see Tamara kind of like sprawl on the couch, and Yaga kind of like um checking up on her and stuff. Fenner's kind of like you see Fenner's just flipped over on the floor and still sleeping.
Uh, why are you sleeping on the floor?
She's asleep. She's like rolled over in her sleep. Um
You know, that's a different question.
um
Uh,
yeah, was like, oh, that one is really like moves during her sleep. What I've noticed, and
Oh,
you just see Fenris like flip over again on the floor, the same face up.
is she treating herself like she's some sort of a pancake or something?
I don't know. Tom was like, I'm well, she is weird, like
She's
sometimes.
at least doing a she's at least doing a good job at keeping both sides evenly cooked.
Pick get an inspiration point.
Woo.
Who jokes? Alright, so you guys head inside, and what do you guys do?
Well, Miss Yaga, we have the grocery list right here. Please let us know if there's anything that we have missed.
She looks over at the list and looks at. Well, she actually first she stands up, pats Tamara's forehead, and um goes over, grabs the list, checks the items, looks at.
I'm keeping the other half, the abundance that I collected. I'm
Yeah.
only giving the required.
Okay. So after she looks at over at the items, looks at you guys, nods, and you're like, yes, this is amazing. Thank you.
No
Now,
problem.
she goes, now, um, goes and like grabs some stuff. It is time for me to prepare the spell, and kind of taps Figgy's head as well as Pig's. Um, rest up. Hang tight. I will be back in like about 3 hours.
I
Yeah, sure.
appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm just gonna go ahead and go out onto your roof if you don't mind.
Okay.
Jackson, you want to come with me?
Just like flaps of the wings, like excited. That's a yes for him.
Mhm.
And well, you guys are waiting, and Baba Yaga goes in deep into the house, the shop, house shop, and leaves you guys to your devices.
Would this be an appropriate time to say, hey, I think I heard something on the grapevine. There's a level and a up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys.
Uh, I already did my level up, so
Mm,
could I instead, during these 3 hours, pull out the fairy, see if they're awake?
yeah, you could do that. So you go outside in the roof, you climb and or fly, and you take out the fairy in the jar. She seems to be confused and awake at the moment. She's like basically tapping the glass a little bit, like confused.
Mhm.
She looks at
Ah,
you a bit, tilts her head.
so how's it going? Do you have any questions? You seem fairly confused.
Um, yeah. So do you know Sylvan?
I do not, but I was debating taking that language. I know Aarakocra, Orin, Common, Draconic, Infernal, and Videlkin.
Okay.
Videlkin.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
blue people.
it was because of Is It Engineer.
Yeah,
Uh, so that's the language you tacked on there.
yeah. So the fairy kind of like gestures that basically. Actually, give me insight for to see if
Uh,
you'd be able to read her sign language or body language.
yeah, and they're face, so I don't get the boost from anything.
Mhm. Alright.
25, baby.
Alright, so you're looking at this fairy. Basically, what she's trying to gesture is, who are you? Why am I, why am I with you? And where the heck is old lady? Basically, signs and everything.
Oh, all right. So I think I got the gist of what you're asking. All right. So for starters, my name's Pika. Uh, Pick for short, what most people call me because they can't, you know, make the bird noises that birds do.
Mhm.
Uh, the old lady is trying to currently cure lycanthropy. Uh, and you're kind of here because I sort of just I don't like the idea of being caged and imprisoned. So I really just asked her if I could release you someplace like far off in a forested area. Maybe even one day, probably, if you really wanted. I could try finding the Fey Wilds and releasing you there, but that one's gonna take a long time, and you're gonna be stuck in a bottle for that long. So I mean, it's up to you. Uh, Tell me which one you prefer. Maybe blow on the glass, make a little fog, and write in it if you know how to do that.
The fairy kind of like squints, trying to understand what you say. Let me see insight. um, can tell a little bit what you're trying to say. Um, and then she only the only thing she understands is like fog and write and stuff with that. So she does that. She starts writing on there, like do the fog, with some sort of like little like magic, and writes down like drawings. She prefers to
Hmm
be out in the wilds, not the Feywilds, like the actual wilds, forested area.
hmm Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a sheet of paper, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna also start drawing in return.
Ooh. She look.
And then
She
I'm
looks
gonna
serious.
write down, or
Mhm.
I'm gonna draw me,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna spell my name right next to it
Mhm.
and show it to her and pronounce my name as I'm running my finger across it.
She slowly like mouth the word, like the mouth words and everything, and then says them out loud. Pika, Pika.
I'm gonna put a I'm gonna put a thumbs up.
Ugh. It kind of like points at herself, and then writes, starts writing down, or does to draw. Um, so she draws a mirror
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
a bell.
All right, Mirabelle.
She basically jumps up and down. You get claps her hands, basically animated, nods.
All right, cool. I'm either gonna have to be extremely good at charades or learn Sylvan. Charades is less paperwork.
and um, so you're trying to understand the fairy as much as you can. For this amount of time. Give me 3 insights.
All right, insights.
3 insights.
Yeah, 3 insights for each hour.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
13, 20, and 16.
All right. So generally, you're understanding like her charades, and she understands your charades. So
Mm-hmm.
this communication is mutual, and you can the fairy basically is was captured by Yaga. Basically, drawing of like old lady.
Mhm.
Actually, no, a younger version of the lady.
Mm.
And she was tall. That's what you like. Usually, what you answer like, the lady was tall. Um, big, big, long hair. Was wearing a red dress.
Man, this fairy has been in captivity for a while now.
Um, and you find out that she's been in captivity for about 15 years.
Wait, how old is Pick?
Pick is how old is he?
He's 5. She's been in captivity 3 times the amount that he's been alive.
Yeah.
Ha!
Um.
You just really makes me feel too young and live so short.
Um. And you find out that the Yaga um um has been nice to her though,
Mm.
but and then she just stops at that like butt and then trails off, and then somebody roll me 100. Roll me 100.
Sure.
Just a flat 100.
Yeah.
96.
Huh. Okay. Um.
All right. Slash.
Okay.
65.
All right. Let's
Damn.
see.
4 numbers off.
Alright. Alright, so alright. So Pig, as she was about to explain, you give me a perception.
Alright, cool. Yeah. Perception, baby. Can Jackson also make one too?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jackson is a viable member of this party, and he should be respected as such. Because he
um.
got a 25. Put some
Alright.
respect on his name.
Alright.
Every
So
single perception roll that I might fail, he almost always passes.
Mhm.
alright. So Pick can see in a little bit of in the corner in the alleyway, and it's getting like darker. It's now the end of the third hour.
Mhm,
Um, it's about 8:45 p.m. and
mhm,
in the alleyway, like a little bit off, you see a kind of like a cloaked figure, but as Jackson kind of like points out at the hair that they have, blonde hair,
hmm.
and this
Undead.
this figure kind of like takes out a pocket watch, checks the time, then puts it back into like, their cloak. Their hand is like pale, and they have like these painted long nails.
Ooh.
They are red nails.
Mhm,
You painted your nails red, that color.
mhm,
Right.
Yeah. And for a slight second, you see the eyes of this woman. Let me check to see their description. What color eyes they are? Color of the rainbow. No, no, no,
mhm.
no. No,
Of
I'm
course, in
kidding.
typical tri-buff fashion.
It is the color of Skittles.
All right.
Look at the
Eyeball.
eyes.
Taste the rainbow.
Okay. So, um, Pig could see like the glimpse of these crimson red eyes, the iris at least. Um, and their face kind of like looks hot as fuck underneath that cloak. With like the expression of like seriousness, and give me a history really quick to see if you could recognize this.
And they're undead, right?
Yeah.
That means I get to do double proficiency. Uh,
Mhm.
let me see.
Real quick, how is health calculated again? Are you doing like complete max?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
not double proficiency. This one is the one that's at advantage.
Mhm.
Double proficiency is on it places
Mhm.
history check. This is gonna be at advantage. Sweet.
Oh shit. All right.
20.
Damn. All right. So, um, as you look at the face, um, you remember back at the prison, Shay's face looks like this
Hmm.
person, but older and paler.
Huh, I didn't know vampires could age. Huh. Then again, Shay does have a mother, which has his many, many issues with. Could this be the root of the mommy issues?
You think this? Meanwhile, with Figgy, what are you doing these 3 hours?
Well, in the 3 hours that he's gonna wait for the spell to be made, he's gonna be like, I've been up for quite some time. I think I'm gonna take a minute to get some rest. So he drinks the rest of his tea.
Mhm.
It's warm,
Mhm.
got hibiscus in it,
Mhm.
and then he does the cat thing of like curling up in a ball on the couch.
Aw. That's cool.
He, mind you, he didn't want to do that, but something was just like, I'm just gonna do it now. So he curls up in a ball like a cat and just proceeds to sleep
Alright.
with with the guitar kind of just like sitting right on the side, not too far out of arm's reach, and he proceeds to sleep.
Okay. You fall asleep. He's falling asleep. You kind of see Tamara kind of like still on the couch, but like looking at the ceiling, thinking, pensive. Um, give me a perception while you're with disadvantage while you're falling asleep.
13.
13. As you're falling asleep, you see, um, when she like raises her arms towards her arm towards the ceiling, you see, on her arm, a tuft of hair start to form slowly, and you just see her freak out a little bit, and you just fall asleep.
Was it an audible noise of the freak out?
Yeah. Huh? No. God damn it.
Okay, so Figgy slightly wakes up from that. Huh? What happened?
Um, shows Figgy.
Oh,
Sits up. Um,
Figgy then proceeds to look at the bite wound that he has.
um, as you look at yourself, one of your arms is hairy,
Aren't both his arms hairy?
which is unusual, like huskier. God damn it.
Okay, I have more fur on this arm than normal, and my stripes are missing. This is a problem.
And
Okay, it's okay.
you
I'm not gonna freak out. I'm just going to simply go ahead and sleep. I'm just gonna sleep it off. It's no big deal. Yaga will have it all figured out. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's going to be fine. So he curls back up into a ball. But now you can kind of see. Well, Tamara could probably see since she's like the closest that
yeah.
Figgy, even though he's like curled up in the ball asleep, there are like little shivers,
And
little shivers of nervousness.
Tamara is gonna kind of like walk up towards Figgy, sit down nearby him, and puts on like like take off a necklace, put it on Figgy, and as you put on the necklace, you start to slowly calm down into sleep again, and she just like pets your head.
Upon doing this, you hear purring.
And internally she's like, "Oh my god, look cute!" in her head, basically, like to the audience. God
I
damn
can't do purr. I can't do purr noises. You asking for too much.
it! Yes. Well, yeah, just like a cat. You're good though. You're good though.
Hmm.
So you fall asleep. Um,
Does a sleep count as a short rest or something?
yeah, it's a short rest.
Okay. So
And
my
also short rest for Pit Crawl.
All right.
All right. And as Figgy falls asleep, he falls asleep. Uh,
purring.
purring. Let me roll something real quick. Alright. So you have a good nap and pick. Back to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you see this figure. What do you want to do?
All right. So I see this figure. Can I tell w- what their what is it that I'm trying to figure out? Are they trained their eyes on anything particular? Like, are they interested in anything as of right now?
As you look, it was apparent that they are trying to search for somebody.
All right. I can't tell who they're searching for, but I am gonna instead decide to try and track down the vampire of which I think person might be searching for. Can I make a survival check to track down Shay?
Yeah. So survival, yeah. Go ahead and give me that. You tracking down? Oh shit.
25, baby.
Alright. So as you um as you fly around, um you fly around. So you were right about here, right, on top of the roof.
Hmm.
And this person was about right here.
Hmm.
Um, you go over here, find Shay. Basically, you know, uh, leaving like a tavern of sorts. with
Hmm.
with red hood up, new clothes. Uh,
All right. Can I stealth land into a nearby as close I can, as stealthily as I can?
yeah.
All right. Cool. See, that is a normal
Uh,
10.
Let me check. Calendar.
Yeah.
Let me
I
see.
don't get any boost to trying to stealth.
It is their passive. I'm looking at their passive. I'm gonna look at their passive right now.
Hmm.
Where?
They have to have a 0 wisdom in order for that to fail. Plus 0 wisdom.
Wow. So you land. Shay notices you, looks over, and on instinct, kind of like on instinct, she like throws um like a cloth over you, like ah!
Wow. Wasn't expecting that of an introduction. But yeah, hey, mommy issues. I wanted to actually check up on you, for
Mommy
starters.
issues.
How's it going with Red?
I have a name. Red?
Yeah,
She's in the tavern.
yeah. All right. So you guys went in there together?
What?
Like, did you guys decide to go there together, have a drink, have fun together? I mean, you could really use it.
Well, um, um, she was getting advances on me to be honest, and I told her it was too fast. Um, and I told her that I needed some air, and she was like, okay. And give me insight actually. And she's trying to like
Insight.
basically rush of like talking.
20, baby.
Oh god. So as you're like basically scrutinizing this um this pink haired one, um you notice that she is blushing.
Yeah. I can tell that you have a few happy thoughts right now, and that's gonna be. Just hold on to those for a good second. I saw someone that I could only probably. Well, there's multiple guesses, but the heaviest one I'm leading on is your mother. Uh,
At the mention of her mom, she goes from like flabbergasted to deadpan serious and a neutral face the next.
yeah, she's. Let me just run down a few descriptions to make 100% certain. Please keep the few happy memories you just had in mind. Uh, Blonde hair, red eyes, and looks like you, but a little older.
You just see her jaw clench, sighs, of course. That like venomous, like you know, um, tint to her voice. What's she doing here?
Mhm. That's a reasonable question. If I had to guess, looking for someone, and my first thought was you, and wouldn't you know, I happened to find you nearby. Uh, Not fully confirming my suspicions, but I'd say I'm pretty close on the money.
You sure is my mom.
I can't be 100% certain. I've never met your mother, but it's kind of pretty evident in her stature, unless you have some time traveling capabilities that you're gonna learn in a few years.
What? Time travel?
I don't know. This is like Biggie's whole what is it? Conspiracy theory?
Biggie
It
didn't
was this whole
sneezes.
thing with Fenrir.
He sneezes in his dream, and then you just hear you just hear Tamara just say just like mumble the tight. Shay's like, um, so where did you see?
If I told you that, I'm afraid you'd run to her, and that might be falling into a trap. So how about we head somewhere safe, or at least quieter, on which we can talk and figure out a plan of our own.
And leave Red here?
You know, I don't know what happened to. You don't really seem to have a good relationship with your mother, and I'm gonna guess for good reasons. I'm not sure you want to bring someone you care about into this situation at first.
If she finds out about Red, she will clobber her to death.
Well, I would have assumed sucked her blood, but yeah, clobbering's also a viable method.
Just give me a second to process.
Yeah, no problem.
She
Uh, just tell me when you're ready. We'll head off.
and she like inhales, exhales, that type of thing. Zen. Um, as you're there, give me a perception really quick.
Hmm. Well, me and Jackson are both gonna make our perceptions.
Okay, perception. There we go. Um,
You got 15.
okay. In the corner, you look back. You see two guys in a tuxedo, unusually pale, in
Hmm.
the shadows, spying you guys.
All right. Can I cast pass without a trace on me, Jackson, and her?
Yeah,
All right. There are people nearby, and I'm not feeling too comfy about it. How about we try to stealth while you're breathing? All right.
got it. Looks at Pick. I can hear them.
All right. So do we all roll stealth checks now?
Yes.
All right. She gets a
Stone.
+10.
Alrighty. 20. Ah, 30. Damn. Alright. So you also get stealth as. Wait, was it? Did there we go. 30, 30. Oh wow, 30. So these guys, unlikely. Okay, unlikely. You guys, you and Shay and and Jackson slither into the shadows like the fucking ninjas that you are. Like you didn't see anything.
Just Homer Simpson into the bush.
Homer Simpson to the alleyway, like, and then they, and then I guess they were distracted by basically the lights nearby. They glance over like,
Hmm.
where the fuck did they go? And Shay kind of like right next to you, kind of like in the alleyway, um, about right about here.
Hmm.
It's like okay, I think they can't see us. Um,
Yeah. Let me read pass without a trace to see what it does to volume.
mhm.
Uh, Yeah, we just leave behind no tracks or traces of our passage, so we will still have to whisper.
Yeah,
Uh,
so whisper.
yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to keep this a little hush hush for now. We're not
Mhm.
exactly silenced, and I don't have that spell. Ah,
She's gonna like think for a bit as I'm checking her sheep. She's like, nah, don't have it with me.
Yeah.
Shit.
Anyways, I know a pretty good magical tree if you want to go there. It's pretty nice and relaxing, so we can calm down and have a proper discussion.
I've seen a tree in the middle of a garden. You mean it's magical?
Oh, he's a really great guy. Uh, Pretty fun. His name's Deku. He's really cool.
Hmm.
Although I wouldn't introduce yourself to him. He has a thing against lycanthropy, and I'm not sure how much he would handle a vampire.
Hmm. I'm actually half vampire, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know how much he considers halvesies. That's something I've had to bring up with him, but shouldn't probably do it in your presence because you know you're the halfsies I'm talking about.
Maybe if I tell him I was an elf, maybe give him my pointy ears a bit.
Yeah, we can tell him you're an elf.
Hmm. I like this plan. And give me an insight while you guys are bobbing and weaving it from alley to alley
Yeah.
like ninjas. Insight. All right.
All right. Okay.
As you're walking, um, and she says that there is some hesitation, but you can tell that she's trying to shrug it off and basically, you know, be neutral about things. And
All right.
you guys,
All right. When we get to a safe enough distance, I
mhm,
do want to talk to her.
okay. So, I'm okay. Can you bring him up here? All right. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We'll be right back after these commercials. Boop, boop, boop. Let me just mute myself. We.
Pit Crawl, the master vampire tracker.
And now the master vampire sleuth.
Uh, and now I have a fairy in a jar of which I cannot speak with because I don't know Sylvan.
I would have thought he knew Sylvan. Just seems like the type of
Uh,
person that would.
I know bird speak. I know elemental wind speak. Normal speak. I can speak with dragons, uh, the devils and demons, and blue people.
Blue people.
Yeah, they're a group of people in this game. I don't think we'll ever encounter them though. But like that, I don't own Is It Engineer, so Reiki put it on there for me.
Sure.
I realized I could have primeval awareness this
Hmm.
because they're undead. But the only problem would be that it also counts Fae, which the or the fairy happens to be. I'm gonna go grab my chicken tenders and fries.
I'm checking out these third level spells for Bard right now.
I don't get third level spells yet. I won't get third level spells until. Let me see. Food and yeah, because I'll my dental.
Alright, I am back. So,
Mhm.
mind if we continue this later?
You want to call a session?
Yeah.
I am okay with that because I'm actually in the middle of like figuring out, hey, what third level spells do I want now since I'm actually able to get some now.
Mhm.
I won't get third level spells until ninth level.
Dang.
Oof.
So,
But even still, I only ever go up to fifth level.
call the session. And
Mhm.
we'll pick it up next time on the next episode of Varkaril Z.
Yes.
Alright then. Let me go ahead.
Big
And
Trial the Vampire Tracker.
Mhm.
Picard the Vampire Sleuth.
Yeah. Vampires.
That's true because I get advantage on vampire checks and other undead such as ghosts and zombies.
Alright. So next time we pick up where we left off, and audience, see you later.
Later. Hope you enjoyed the
Ciao.
show.
Yeah. Hopefully we sounded clear.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Did it?
I think we did the best we could.
Yeah. Did it,
If
folks?
anything, what? Yeah. If anything, we'll just do like another sound test next session.
Yeah.
Which, when is next session?
Next session. I think it's in uh Sunday. Got something
Hmm
on Saturday.
I have
Uh,
the session this Sunday with you and the others.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what the thingy.
so this Saturday is a no go.
I'm trying to see if I could try to. Actually, no. This Saturday, maybe a short other cider session.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
If you,
Or get a
if,
a little more rail brush.
Mhm. Brass. I mean, not brass. I mean, oh grass.
Oh, Grash.
Oh grass. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Brass. Thank you very much. I worked hard for that name. No, I didn't. I was born with it because of my brass.
Alright.
I mean, that's the kind of way to be, work hard for it. Being birthed is hard work.
Mhm. Well, see y'all later, audience. Ricky Wolf
Hmm
and Party out.